Hi and welcome, my name is TheNordicDane and today we're going to talk about Stray for PlayStation 5. The first trailer for Stray was released about 2 years ago, about the same time when the PlayStation was coming out. It looked super adorable. It was super different from any other kind of game at the time. For some reason, a lot of games were heading into like this dark and mysterious kind of vibe. And Stray does have those kind of vibes as well. However, it did not focus on that. Stray looked super cute. Honestly, you could play as a cat. Who doesn't want to play as a cat? The developers are Blue 12 Studios, who is a French company, and it's actually their first game. It is a single-player adventure game with a puzzle element to it, though it's not as big as I would have wanted it, but it's the main part of the game. The story is pretty short. You get lost from your family or friends, and you basically have to find a way back, but the way back is way more complicated than it first seems. In order to escape from this dystopian world, you have to get outside the walls. Basically, the whole world is locked in some sort of dome, and all the walls are locked apparently because of some sort of virus. Seem familiar? Coronavirus! Anyway, the human era is dead and is now taken over by the robots. The robots are friendly and nice and they basically want to help you escape, but the problem are the Zergs. The Zergs are basically these mutated genes that humans created in order to get rid of all the trash because trash had become a problem. Unfortunately, these Zergs have now started to eat everything and not just trash, including the robot, which is the reason why they're so scared of them, and now they are also eating the cat. The game runs in 60 frames per second and has this kind of unique style to the animation. The game isn't necessarily beautiful and stunning like you could see in The Last of Us, for example, but that doesn't mean that I don't like the animation, because I do. I did not experience any glitches in the game, which is great, and I feel like this game is super simple yet super great. The sound of this game is also incredible. They really do use a lot of echoing simply because you are a small creature in a wide and open space, and they do this to perfection. The music is very fitting, and you even have this musician who can read these sheet notes that you find around the city. However, some of that music is horrible to listen to, and the rest of the soundtrack is a little bit too similar. However, it's still very fitting to the theme. When it comes to the game mechanics of this game, it is super easy to learn how to play this. I actually did have one of my friends try out the game, and the worst part for her was simply the fact that you had to run away from the Zergs, and that could be super stressful. But otherwise, learning how to play the game, it's easy, and honestly a really good introduction to video gaming. One feature that I absolutely loved, and I love the fact that they put a trophy in for this, is the fact that you can meow. An ability you actually have to use like 50 times in order to get a trophy, which I think is great. And the meowing goes well hand in hand with the actual echoing that you hear around the game as well. There's no way to change the difficulty level, it's all the same no matter what you do, but I honestly feel like that's a pretty good way of doing it. Overall, this game is amazing. It did remind me a little bit about, like, for example, Uncharted, with the whole exploration and the puzzling, less about the action. But like I said, this game is kind of like no other game that I can compare it to. The game kind of closes off with a closed ending, but it could somewhat be interpreted as also being open, so they could, if they wanted to, develop on this game for a sequel. However, I don't think that they will, sadly. However, what I really appreciate about the game is the fact that there's a lot of lore within this. If you take the time to read all the things that is being said by every single person or robot, then you realize that there is so much more to everything that has happened already, and honestly, they could build a lot on this. Hopefully they do, but so far this will definitely get 6 out of 6 Viking helmets. It's easy, it's fun, it's cute, it has all the right elements, and yeah, like 6 out of 6 Viking helmets. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please go and like the subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. It helps me a lot. And you can also go on Twitch. My handle is TheNordicDane. And as always, vi ses.